to Cook. Out on top. Ryder. Three-pointer on the way. Rim would not have it. And knocked out of bounds off of Robbie Springborn. Actually a whistle and a foul on Robbie Springborn. That'll be his first personal. And a team first foul. Kimberly will inbound at baseline. That is Ryan Nelson. Inbounds it to Cook. Back out on top to Reisterer. Now with it is Hurley. Reisterer. Nelson. Sabalik on the defense. Shot would not go, and Derek Arndt nearly comes away with the rebound, then Casey Weiss does. Springborn looking to push it up the court for Fond du Lac. A pass underneath, nice pass to Sean Bartelt, and Bartelt puts it in for Fond du Lac. They get on the board first. A nice pass by Robbie Springborn. He's been able to do that just about all season. You know, we talk about how well Robbie does shooting defense, great passer as well. He's been able all season to provide opportunities for his teammates. Bartelt's free throw is good, and the Cardinals off to an early 3-0 lead. Ryder brings the basketball up the court, gives it off to DeCook. DeCook being guarded by Sean Bartelt. DeCook in a little bit of trouble. Almost turned it over on a 5-second violation. Nelson. Back out on top is Ryder. And the Cardinals steal it away. That's Sean Bartelt. Sean Bartelt takes it and then loses the handle of the basketball out of bounds. It will be Kimberly Papermaker basketball with 6:38 remaining in the opening quarter. That time Bartelt on the steal had it all the way and went to go up for a shot. Just lost the handle on the basketball. Kimberly inbounds it. The junior 5'11 guard underneath to Hurley. Hurley against Arndt. A nice shot by Hurley and a turnaround jumper. And Kimberly gets on the board for the first time. 3-2 in favor of Fond du Lac. Bartelt to Saberlich. Bartelt, wide open three for Bartelt. Off the rim, no good, and Hurley away with the board for the Papermakers. Now Kimberly looking to push it up. Jake Thomas into the basketball game. Hurley. With it is Nelson, and Nelson travels with it. A turnover on the Kimberly Papermakers. It will be Fond du Lac basketball with 5:59 remaining. Nelson that time traveling. First turnover of the game for the Papermakers. Springborn running the point for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Springborn taking it baseline. Double teamed, and he gets up in the air. Basket and the foul. Robbie Springborn with a nice head fake, taking it baseline, puts the bucket in, and Robbie gets to go to the free throw line and try to put in a free throw. Foul goes on Mark Ryder. That is his first, team second. Free throw by Springborn is good, and the Cardinals with an early 4-point lead, 6-2. Post up underneath to Hurley. Hurley. Turnaround jumper, no good. Springborn comes away with it. Now Springborn looking to push it up for Fond du Lac. Kicks it out to Saberlich. Saberlich for three. Bucket. Chris Saberlich from the outside. And the Cardinals with a 9-2 lead. Coach John Myron going to take a timeout. It will be a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. The Cardinals off to a quick 9-2 lead. Back after this, you're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Communications.
Most people don't take time to listen to their bodies. Many of my first-time clients are surprised when I find areas that are sore or tender that they didn't realize were there. I can help relieve those tension spots. I always take time to listen to my clients because trust is very important. There can be many misconceptions about massage, and everyone has different comfort levels, and it's important to respect that. Massage therapy can be an important part of the overall health and well-being, and I encourage people to take their health seriously and to relax.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. The Cardinals off to an early 9-2 lead. 3 points apiece from Chris Saberlich, Robbie Springborn, and Sean Bartelt as Coach John Myron of the Kimberly Papermakers takes a quick timeout to try to stop the bleeding as the Cardinals come out here red hot, which they've been able to do quite a bit this season. Cardinals several times off to a couple of quick leads. Kimberly now with the basketball. That is Nelson out on top to Reisterer. Thomas. Ryder has it. Now to Nelson. Nelson against Casey Weiss. Nelson kicks it back out to Reisterer. Hurley. Good ball rotation by the Kimberly Papermakers. Thomas takes it in. He overlays it. And Casey Weiss comes away with the board. Derek Arndt on the outlet pass, and he overlays it for the second time. Ball loose on the court, and Kimberly comes away with it. Derek Arndt 2 times so far here in the opening quarter. He has overlaid an easy bunny. Nelson underneath being double teamed. Nelson forces up a shot, no good. Derek Arndt comes away with the board for the Cardinals. Casey Weiss. Saberlich, long three-pointer for Saberlich off the back of the rim, no good. And Derek Arndt got his hand on it, could not hold on to it, out of bounds. It will belong to the Kimberly Papermakers. 4:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. The Cardinals up 9-2. With the basketball out on top is Hurley. Ryder looks at taking it baseline. Back out to Thomas. Thomas. Cardinals playing good D here to start off this basketball game. And then a turnaround jump shot by Andy Hurley, and he's got the only 4 points of the basketball game for the Papermakers. Bartelt with it for the Cardinals. Casey Weiss to Springborn. Springborn takes a baseline. And a shot no good. Ball loose on the court. Out of bounds. And it will belong to the Kimberly Papermakers. 3:53 remaining here in the first quarter. And Derek Arndt, struggling here in the first quarter so far, is going to have a seat on the bench. Checking in for Fond du Lac will be the senior Jim Dilling. Ryder with the basketball, being guarded by Saberlich. Off to Thomas. Thomas, a 5. He was closely guarded by Robbie Springborn. A turnover for the Papermakers. It will be Cardinal basketball, and they will inbound it right in front of their bench. Good defense that time by Robbie Springborn. Closely guarding his guy and forcing a turnover. Saberlich. Saberlich at the top of the ball. Bartelt. Bartelt loses the handle on it. Ball loose on the court. Kimberly comes away with it. Down the court, and Jim Dilling swats it away, and they're going to get him goaltending on Jim Dilling. The basket will count by Dan DeBruin. Dilling and basket is the Cardinals now with a 3-point lead, 9-6 over Kimberly. Springborn out to Casey Weiss. Springborn posting up Bartelt, and then Bartelt tries to kick it back out to baseline, and Bartelt a turnover for Fond du Lac. 3:05 remaining in the first quarter from the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Nice pass underneath, knocked out of bounds off of Kimberly. The guy was not ready for it. That was Al. There you see Coach Dick G marking out some calls for his Fond du Lac Cardinals, who are off to a great start this season. Cardinals 7-1 in conference. The only hiccup that they had was against Oshkosh North. 3-point away by Kimberly would not go, and Kimberly comes away with the board. And Kimberly right now having it their way. They're on a 4-0 run over Fond du Lac after the timeout by John Myron. Thomas off to Nelson. Underneath to Rise. 3-pointer on the way by DeBruin, and he hits it. Guess what? We have a tie basketball game. Bruin with a 3-point bomb, and a 7-0 run now by the Kimberly Papermakers. Smart timeout by John Myron. He got the bleeding to stop. Now in a tie ball game. Saberlich's shot would not go. Cardinals all of a sudden fold from the field. And De Bruin's headed off the bench and added a spark for the Papermakers. Post up underneath to Rise, and a whistle foul will be on the Fond du Lac Cardinals, and that will go on Jim Dilling, only the second team foul for Fond du Lac here in the opening quarter. That is Jim Dilling's first. And the Kimberly Papermakers will inbound at baseline. Nelson against Casey Weiss. Nelson takes it in a pump fake and an air ball, and the Cardinals will come away looking to push it up. Robbie Springborn running the point, gives it off to Dilling. Shavy now into the basketball game for Fond du Lac. Springborn, Shavy, and Casey Weiss. Weiss taking a baseline, a whistle, and a foul. Blocking foul will go on number 44, Al Rise. That'll be the third team foul for Kimberly. That'll be his first personal. Saberlich will inbound at baseline. Casey Weiss. Saberlich now off to John Shavy. Springborn back with it out at the top of the elbow. Casey Weiss going to crank up a three. He airballs it. Robbie Springborn has a chance. He tries to knock it off a Kimberly Papermaker. Instead it goes between their legs, and now Kimberly has the ball on offense. Kimberly with a chance to take their first lead of the basketball game, this time down court. Reisterer off to De Bruin as we roll under a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Cardinal Fieldhouse. A whistle and a foul will go up John Shavy for Fond du Lac. That'll be his first personal. It'll be the third team foul for Fond du Lac, and he will inbound at baseline. Short pass underneath will be knocked off of Fond du Lac, and it will be Kimberly basketball. We're up at the Cardinal Fieldhouse in the opening quarter. Up to a 9-2, and ever since then they have not been able to put a bucket in. Nelson being double teamed, kicks it out to De Bruin. De Bruin now kicks the pass, and Rise was not ready for it. 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Cardinals will do what they normally do, and they will hold it for one shot. Robbie Springborn holding it out. We have about 15 seconds left. He'll start making a move with about 7 seconds left on the clock. 9 seconds, now 7 seconds. Springborn underneath to Casey Weiss. Casey Weiss takes it off the glass and in. And now Kimberly trying to put the buzzer, no good. Get a bucket right at the end. A nice pass from Springborn to Casey Weiss, and we have completed one here from the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Cardinal the lead, 11-9. Back after this, you're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball, Charter Sports.
When gearing up for high school sports, your first and only stop is Team Sports, Main Street, Fond du Lac. Shoes, gear, it's all here at Team Sports on Main. Dribble, pass, shoot. It's basketball season, and Team Sports has all your ball needs covered. One stop and you're in the game. Or struggle for the pin is more your speed. Team Sports also carries all you need for wrestling. Team Sports has trophies, leather jackets, and Packer and Badger merchandise. Team Sports, your sports headquarters.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse as we get ready to shutting down the top two in the first quarter. Our top scorers are Ryan Nelson, averaging 11.5 points a game, and Mark Ryder, 11.1 points a game. And the Cardinals only allowing two guys basically to get in the scorebook. That is Andy Hurley with 4 points, and Bruin with 5 points. The second quarter, Cardinals on top, 11-9. Springborn to Casey Weiss. Springborn thought about the three. Now a post up underneath the Dilling. Dilling in a little trouble. Has to get rid of it. He does to Shavy. Robbie could not get it to go. And the Cardinals are going to be called for a foul. That'll go on Casey Weiss. Nice move by Robbie, just to finish it. And Kimberly, there you see Casey Weiss, the senior for Fond du Lac, the 6'3" senior, having a nice basketball for Fond du Lac so far. Post up underneath, nice defensive by Derek. Now Chris Sabelick rebound, and another overlay by Casey Weiss. That has to be about 4 times in this basketball game. And the Fond du Lac Cardinals have missed plenty layups. Early underneath, a whistle and a foul. Fond du Lac just not finishing their shots right now. Sure something that is concerning head coach Dick Diener, as Derek Arndt called with his first personal foul. And Hurley will go to the free throw line. First one on the way is good for Hurley. Hurley averaging 9.1 points a game, their third leading scorer. Second shot on the way is no good, and Derek Arndt comes away with a rebound. Cardinals up by 1, 11-10. Weiss takes it in the lane, penetrates it, kicks it out to Derek Arndt. Sabelick, a hand in his face, but he still hits it. Chris Sabelick with a big three-pointer, a hand in his face. That's 6 points. Far for Sabelick. Cardinals now with a 14-10 lead. De Bruin. To Nell. Kicks it underneath to Hurley. Hurley, a whistle, a foul, and the bucket will count. Andy Hurley having a nice basketball game so far for the Papermakers. Derek Arndt for his second foul, and he will head to the Pines as Jim checks back into the basketball game. Hurley's free throw on the way is no good. And the Cardinals will have it back, and a foul actually going on Hurley. That'll be his first foul. Casey Weiss with it to Sean Bartelt. Sabelick. Post up underneath to Casey Weiss. Weiss, turnaround jumper, loses the handle of the basketball, but Fond du Lac gets it back. Bartelt. Sabelick. Sabelick in a little bit of trouble, needs to get rid of it. Does. Casey Weiss, wide open jump shot, and he books it. Casey Weiss now with 4 points in the basketball game for Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac takes a 16-12 lead over Kimberly. 5:43 remaining here in the second quarter. Ryder with it. Off to DeCook. Hurley kicks it back out to Ryder. Cardinals in their basic man-to-man defense against Kimberly, and a nice pass underneath from Ryder to Hurley. And it's been the Hurley show for the Kimberly Papermakers. He's accounted for 9 or 14 points, and now a whistle and an offensive foul will go on Fond du Lac. And it will go on Jim Dilling. That'll be Dilling's second, and it will be a bonus situation for Kimberly. And going to the free throw line will be Ryan DeCrook, a 5'10" senior. Free throw would not go. Ball loose, and Kimberly controls it. Kimberly doing a nice job on the boards, and then wide open underneath as DeCrook makes up for it. Wide open weigh-in, and we have a tied basketball game once again at 16 with 4:50 remaining in the first half. Saberlick with it for the Cardinals. Springborn loses the handle, and Fond du Lac having trouble here offensively so far tonight, and they turn it over again. Kimberly looking to push it, and then wisely Hurley brings it back. Cardinals struggling on offense here in the first half. They got off to a hot start not too long ago. The Cardinals were up by 7 at 9-2. Nelson, jump shot on the way, no good. Nelson's been cold from the field tonight for Kimberly. Give the Fond du Lac Cardinal defense a lot of credit for that. Saberlick for Fond du Lac, kicks it out to Springborn. Springborn launches a three on the way, no good. And Hurley comes away with a strong board, and now the Papermakers looking to push it up. De Bruin has it, he gives it off to Hurley. Post up underneath to Nelson. Nelson open for the first basket of the game. The first basket of the game for Nelson, the first lead of the game for the Kimberly Papermakers. A timeout, a full timeout. We will take one as well. We have 3:48 remaining here in the first half. Fond du Lac down by 2, 18-16. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
Craven Mexican, the Matzland has the best authentic Mexican food north of the border. Start off with free chips and Matzland famous homemade salsa. Matzland has a different lunch special every day that is served fresh in 15 minutes or less. And buy one and get one free margarita specials on Wednesdays for the ladies and Thursdays for the men. The Matzland has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Main Street in Fond du Lac and our Oshkosh location featuring a full-service bar next to Kmart on Curler Street.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Cardinals down by 18-16. And the Cardinals, every timeout that John Myron took at in the middle of the first quarter, the Kimberly Papermakers have made a pretty good comeback. They've been outscored a total of 16-9. As there you get a look at Jeff Simon sitting on the bench there, clapping his hands. Former Fond du Lac Cardinal, now an assistant coach for the Kimberly Papermakers. Good to see him back here at the Cardinal Fieldhouse. And don't forget Mark Simon, Jeff Simon's brother, an assistant coach for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. There you see Mark sitting at the end of the bench with the blonde hair, along with Pat Lloyd, an assistant coach for the JV team. Robbie Springborn has it. Springborn gives it off to Shavy. Shavy, jump shot on the way, no good. Kimberly comes away with the board. The Cardinals continue to struggle from the field. And Kimberly then brings it back down, and they turn it over. 3:09 remaining in the first half. Both teams a little bit sloppy on offense here in the first half of play. Springborn brings it up. There's Bart side. Shavy. Saberlick cranks up a three from the outside. Chris Saberlick with his third three-point basket of this game, and gives Fond du Lac a 1-point advantage. Saberlick with 9 points now for Fond du Lac here in the first half. Bruin wide open underneath, and then Hurley on the reach over. He gets called for the offensive foul, and the Cardinals will get the basketball back. Hurley will get the foul. It'll be his second. He will go to the Pines, and Nelson will check back into the game. Hurley going back to the Pines with 9 points so far for Kimberly. He has been their leading scorer. Saberlick off to Springborn. Springborn thought about it, takes it in, and then double team, kicks it back out to Shavy. Shavy off to Casey Weiss. Saberlick now guarded by Reister to Springborn. Good ball rotation from Fond du Lac. Shavy doesn't have anything, so he takes it over to Springborn. Cardinals doing a good job here. And then Casey Weiss turns it over. Also good defense by the Kimberly Papermakers. Kimberly not allowing Fond du Lac with any open opportunities. Ryder with it, and some contact, and a foul will go on John Shavy for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 1:39 remaining here in the first half of play. Shavy is called with his second personal foul. Ryder will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Ryder this season, free throw would not go. And Kimberly comes away with the offensive board. Ryder only 50% from the free throw line this season. And Kimberly, a wild pass over the outstretched arms of Al Rise. They turn it over. The Cardinals will have it back. Fond du Lac up by 1, 19-18 over the Kimberly Papermakers, who have struggled this season, to say the least. Kimberly usually a solid program. Sabalik cranks up a 3. That's 3 3-pointers in that quarter now for Sabalik. In the game, it's a 22-18 lead. Sabalik heating up from the outside. Kimberly will have to stop him. As we've seen all season, Sabalik gets on fire from the outside. Nobody can stop him. A whistle and a foul underneath will go on Fond du Lac, will go on Sean Bartelt. That'll be Bartelt's first personal. And Nelson will go to the free throw line. Nelson this season 13 of 23 for 56%. You know, you look at the Papermakers shooting percentage from the free throw line, not overly impressive. Their top free throw shooter only at 75%, and basically he's only taken 4 free throws all season. Nelson hits the first one and hits the second one. So free throws have been a problem for the Kimberly Papermakers. Now a substitution in for the Papermakers, and Robbie Springborn will bring the basketball up. Under a minute remaining, and you know what that means. The Fond du Lac Cardinals will hang on for one shot. See if they can get one away here. 49 seconds. Pat Randall into the game now for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Halftime, we'll talk about the first half coming up here at the half. We'll have some scoring and look to the second half, so stick around. That's coming up here on Charter Sports. 30 seconds and counting remaining in the first half. Springborn has it back now near the center circle. There you see the remaining time in the lower right-hand side of your screen. Under 20 seconds. Cardinals will roll it down to about 7 seconds left in the quarter before they make a move at the hoop. 10 seconds. 9, 8. Now Springborn going to take it. Springborn kicks it out to Sabalik. Sabalik jump shot in the way. Good! Sabalik hits it on the foul. Big jump shot for Chris Sabalik, who's had a pretty good first half of play for Fond du Lac. I'd say so. And Sabalik now a chance for a 3-point play. Cardinals up by 4, 24-20. Sabalik will go to the free throw line. Sabalik at 84%, 16 of 19 from there this season, and I jinxed him. I jinxed him as Sabalik misses it. On the buzzer, Reisterer, and it will not count. And we come to the end of the first half of play from the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Fond du Lac with a 24-20 lead. We'll have halftime stats and talk about the first half of play right after this. You are watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
Most people don't take time to listen to their bodies. Many of my first-time clients are surprised when I find areas that are sore or tender that they didn't realize were there. I can help to release those tension spots. I always take time to listen to my clients because trust is very important. There can be many misconceptions about massage, and everyone has different comfort levels, and it's important to respect that. Massage therapy can be an important part of the overall health and well-being, and I encourage people to take their health seriously. and to relax.
We're gearing up for high school sports.
Hello. I'll do the stand-up here with the wireless. I'll do just a quick... What's that? No, I'll just do a stand-up with the mic. And are you ready if we do it right now? Okay. And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. The Fond du Lac Cardinals with a 24-20 lead. All right.
check those orange tickets. If nobody comes to take this, it becomes mine. That's the rule lately. So, if you 121439. 121439. Orange ticket. 50-50 raffle. Cash money. You're the winner.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. At the half here, the Fond du Lac Cardinals with a 24-20 lead. Nick Van Acker flying solo here on this Friday night. Usually Sean Kaiser is standing right next to me, but not tonight. He has a chance to get away on a little retreat, and he will be back with me again next week. Let's talk about this first half. The Fond du Lac Cardinals with a 24-20 lead in the first half. Fond du Lac got off to a 9-2 lead. Got off to a quick start. Some good shooting by Chris Saberlick as well as Robbie Springborn. Fond du Lac cooled off a little bit in the first half. Some turnovers, some missed shots. Fond du Lac missed about 4 bunny layups underneath, allowed the Kimberly Papermakers to get back into this basketball game. And Kimberly's done a good job defensively on Fond du Lac, and that's why they are still in this basketball game. And we've talked about in the pregame show, Fond du Lac cannot overlook this Kimberly Papermaker team, because just like that, Kimberly can come into this basketball game and beat Fond du Lac. And you know, you want to be able to set up that matchup later on this year against Appleton West. Fond du Lac plays Neenah on Tuesday night this next week, so that'll be a tough matchup. So you got to be able to get the ones while you can. Fond du Lac with a 24-20 lead. We'll have second half action right after this. You're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
When gearing up for high school sports, your first and only stop is Team Sports, Main Street, Fond du Lac. Shoes, balls, gear, it's all here at Team Sports on Main. Dribble, pass, shoot. It's basketball season, and Team Sports has all your basketball needs covered. One stop and you're in the game. Or maybe the struggle for the pin is more your speed. Team Sports also carries all you need for wrestling. Team Sports has trophies, leather jackets, and Packer and Badger merchandise. Team Sports, your sports headquarters.
A lot closer game than I expected. I hate to say you were right, but I won't say you're right too loud, though. Yeah. Alrighty, if you want to bring it back. And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. We're just about set for the second half action here as the teams huddle up for a few minutes. We will take a look at the first half scoring. The Cardinals are led in scoring by Chris Saberlick. A big second quarter of 14 points, and 11 of those came in the second quarter. 4 points by Casey Weiss, and then 3 points apiece chipped in by Robbie Springborn and Sean Bartelt, leading scorers for the Kimberly Papermakers. 5 points for Dan DeBruin, and Andy Hurley, the Papermakers, with 9 points. As we get set to start the second half here. If you get a chance tonight, you guys are seeing this replay on Saturday night. Stop on out. We were talking about Sean before. He gets the honor of being the MC for the Miss Fond du Lac pageant. So after the basketball games, stop over to the Fond du Lac High School here. Sean Kaiser will be the MC for the Miss Fond du Lac pageant. Gets underway at about 7:30. So you have a chance to stop on over here. Missed three-pointer on the way by DeCook. It will be interesting to see Mr. Kaiser all dressed up for his debut as MC of the Miss Fond du Lac pageant. Cardinals will have the basketball. They will inbound it underneath their own hoop. Robbie Springborn. Saberlick for three, no good. And Kimberly comes away with a rebound. Saberlick red hot from the outside, 4 3-pointers in the first half. Cardinals coming out man-to-man defense per their usual. Nelson with it out on top. Cardinals holding him to only 4 points in the first half. He usually averages around 11. Reister off to Ryder. Kimberly patient on offense, trying to find that open shot. Cardinals are not allowing them right now. Hurley under a little bit of pressure. Now Nelson out top. Cardinals doing an outstanding job on defense. Nothing open for Kimberly whatsoever. Ryder. Now Kimberly trying to create something as the crowd gets behind the defense of the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Reister thought about the three. Nelson now. Rim would not have it. Saberlick comes away with the board. Now Springborn looks to push it up. Good defensive series for Fond du Lac that time. Springborn. Cardinals with a 4-point lead. Arndt back out to Springborn. Sean Bartelt with 3 points in the first half. A whistle and a foul will go on Ryan DeCook, the senior guard. Be DeCook's second person. And Cook will go to the Pines. Cardinals will inbound it. Springborn to Saberlick. Jump shot on the way, off the rim, good. And out of bounds, it will be Fond du Lac basketball. They are going to say it went off of Hurley. Hurley does not agree with it, questions the man in stripes, and he says, well, it went off of you, buddy. Bartelt, post up underneath to Derek Arndt. Arndt takes it strong, and then Hurley called for the foul. Hurley better watch himself, or he is going to get teed up, as he had a few words to say for the referees. Hurley will go to the Pines. And checking into the basketball game will be Al Rise. That'll be Hurley's third personal, so he'll go to the bench for a little bit. 9 points in the basketball game. Arndt's free throw is good. Second one on the way for Derek Arndt, and he hit that one. And the Cardinals now with a 6-point lead. Their biggest lead of the game is at 7. That was way back in the first quarter. Ryan, a little bit of pressure, now gets it off to Cardinals have just come in the second half and looked really good here on defense. And that was probably a topic of conversation with Dick Diener in the locker room. Rim would not have it, and comes away with it. Springborn to Saberlick. Saberlick post up to Derek Arndt. Arndt out Telt. Arndt didn't thing, so wisely kicked it out. Springborn now. Arndt. 5 minutes straight up left here in the third quarter. Casey Weiss to Bartelt. Cardinals patient on offense. Robbie Springborn now off to Casey Weiss. Weiss takes it, spin around, nice move by Casey Weiss. Underneath, Casey Weiss now with 6 points in the game. Good spin move. Cardinals have their biggest lead of the game at 8, 28-20, and now Kimberly turns it over. Springborn takes it coast to coast. Robbie Springborn, and now the Cardinals up by 10. Springborn playing the defense and rewards himself with a basket. A timeout by Kimberly once again. 10-point lead It is a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. Cardinals up by 10, 30-20. Back after this. You're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
Craving Mexican? The Matzland has the best authentic Mexican food north of the border. Start off with free chips and Matzland's famous homemade salsa. Matzland has a different lunch special every day that is served fresh in 15 minutes or less. And buy one and get one free margarita specials on Wednesdays for the ladies and Thursdays for the men. The Matzland has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. Main Street in Fond du Lac and our Oshkosh location featuring a full-service bar next to Kmart on Curler Street.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. The Cardinals playing well on defense to start the second half, shutting down the Kimberly Papermakers and then taking advantage of shutdowns on offense. Cardinals 6-0 lead here in the second, a 6-0 run, and they now have their biggest lead of the game at 10 points. Kimberly going to try to get something going offensively right now. Something the Cardinals did bad on defense in the first half of play. They just needed to tighten it up a little bit, and that's what they did. Wide open underneath. Hurley overlays it, and then Derek Arndt comes away with the board. Springborn now looking to push it. Saberlich underneath the Weiss. Derek Arndt wide open underneath. Left-handed layup for Derek Arndt. And now the Cardinals with a 12-point lead. Kimberly has to do something to stop Fond du Lac now. Ryder. Cardinals on an 8-0 run here in the second half. DeBruin out on top. Nelson. That's a guy that they've shut down so far in this basketball game. A whistle and a foul, and they are going to count the basket. The basket will go, and Nelson will go to the free throw line and shoot one, excuse me. Nelson 13 of 23, 56% from the free throw line this season. Free throw is good. 3-point play by the Kimberly Papermakers, and now they cut the lead down to 9 points. Saberlich. Springborn has it. Post up to Casey Weiss. Weiss underneath has his shot blocked by Hurley. Now Kimberly looking to push it back up the floor. Hurley with it. Now Nelson. Nelson on the far side looking for somebody and finally gives it off to DeBruin. DeBruin shot on the way. Swish. A 3-pointer by DeBruin, his second of the basketball game. And just like that, Kimberly coming back on a little bit of a run of their own. 32-26 in favor of the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Derek Arndt, guarded by Nelson, gives it off to Casey Weiss. Bartelt now to Springborn. Now they look to post up to Arndt. Arndt back out to Casey Weiss. Weiss takes it strong to the lane, has it swatted away, and now Kimberly looking to push it. Hurley has it on the breakout and lays it in. 32-28. Now Dick Diener wants to talk about it. And let's check it. It will be a 30-second timeout. And we will keep it right here and put another bucket on the board for Hurley, his second of the half. For your youth tournament trophies and awards, senior recognition, band, and music awards, be sure to go to the Northwoods Hegstrom Real Awards. Easy to find on the World Wide Web at HegstromRealAwards.com, featuring real Wisconsin Northwoods in all of their picture plaques with 4-color imaging and trophies. That's Hegstrom Real Awards. Give them a call at 923-6217. Dick Diener wants to talk about this one, as now the Kimberly Papermakers have gone on a little bit of a run of their own. A 7-0 run. 2:10 remaining here in the third quarter. Springborn Springmore puts it in. Nice short jump shot by Robbie. And Robbie has 7 points in the basketball game. A whistle and a foul. No, they're going to call it a kick ball. It will be actually a turnover. Cardinal basketball. Jump shot on the way by Nelson, and he hit it. Nelson getting hot here in the third quarter. 4-point advantage by Fond du Lac, 34-30. Springmorn. Off to Bartelt. Springmorn. Now Casey Weiss has it. Springmorn. Derek Arndt. 1:15 remaining. Now Robbie brings it back out to the mid-court stripe. Springmorn. Springmorn takes it into the lane. Strong underlays it, excuse me. Now Kimberly on the breakout. Nelson, a whistle and the foul. Kimberly's been able to hustle a lot quicker down the court than the Fond du Lac Cardinals, and that time Fond du Lac forced for them to make the foul. And going to the free throw line will be Ryan Nelson. Foul went on Bartelt. Free throw is good by Nelson. Nelson's been 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and Nelson already 6 points here in the third quarter. Straight up 1 minute left in the third quarter. It's been a quick pace basketball game so far tonight here from the Cardinal Fieldhouse. There you get a good look at Ryan Nelson, the junior. And the basket is good. Well, it was a 12-point lead at one time for Fond du Lac. Now with that free throw, Ryan Nelson pulls the Kimberly Papermakers back within 2. 34-32, under a minute left here in the third quarter, and Fond du Lac will play for one shot. 45 seconds. Arndt with the basketball, gives it off to Saberlich. Saberlich, whistle, and Cardinals attacking the hoop, which is a surprise. Under a minute, they have been known for waiting for one shot. And a foul will go on the Papermakers. That'll go on Reisterer. Springmore will have it, and then he'll pull it back out. And now looks like the Cardinals will wait for one shot. Bartelt to Springmore. 27 seconds. Springmore to Bartelt. 20 seconds now. Springmore. As we roll under 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Robbie Springmore with the basketball now. 5 seconds. Springmore takes it into the lane. Could not go. Derek Arndt with a nice play underneath. And the Cardinals make a bucket, and they take a 36-32 lead into the fourth quarter. We'll have fourth quarter action right after this. You are watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
People don't take time to listen to their bodies. Many of my first-time clients are surprised when I find areas that are sore or tender that they didn't realize were there. I can help to release those tensions. I always take time to listen to my clients because trust is very important. There can be many misconceptions about massage, and everyone has different comfort levels, and it's important to respect that. Massage therapy can be an important part of the overall health and well-being, and I encourage people to take their health seriously and to relax.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Fond du Lac with a 36-32 lead. Third quarter, Fond du Lac once again, they get out to that big lead, and for some reason they just cannot hold it. As much as a 12-point lead in the third quarter. And then again, a timeout by head coach John Myron. And the Pacers make a comeback, and they pull it now within 4 points. There you see a look at a nice crowd on hand here at the Cardinal Fieldhouse tonight. The Fond du Lac side about, I'd say 95% full. And it's good to see everybody coming out and supporting the fourth-ranked team, according to the Associated Press. in the state of Wisconsin. Fond du Lac doing a good job this season. A lot of people expected the Cardinals to be at about a middle-of-the-pack team, but Cardinals have shown that last season's state championship bid was not a fluke. Foul on Kimberly will go on Reisterer. That'll be his third. Cardinals got to take care of business tonight, though. They only have a 4-point lead. Arndt. Bartelt. Springmore now with it. Arndt puts it up, and he puts it in. Derek Arndt had a good third quarter of play for Fond du Lac. He had 6 points. That's where he has scored all of his points so far. Now Kimberly with a down court. Reese post up underneath to tried an alley-oop. No good. Derek Arndt steps in front of it. Now Bartelt at the other end. Bartelt. Dilling on the follow. No good. And Kimberly comes away with the board. Cardinals up by 4, 38-32. Kimberly with the basketball. Ryder post up underneath to Hurley. Hurley got around Derek Arndt. Weak side help came just a little bit late by Jim Dilling. And the bucket goes in. Dilling with it now. To Bartelt. Bartelt takes it. Nice dish underneath to Derek Arndt. Nice job by Sean Bartelt. Boy, Derek Arndt has had a great second half of play. Derek Arndt has stepped up big, struggled a little bit, missed a couple of bunny layups in the first quarter of play, but Derek Arndt has come out here in the second half and made a game of it. A whistle and a foul will go on the aforementioned Derek Arndt. That'll be his third personal, only the third team foul in the second half. Pretty mistake-free as far as fouls are concerned. 40-34 in favor of Fond du Lac as Derek Arndt goes to the bench. 4 points so far here in the fourth quarter. Derek Arndt has 10 in the game. Three-pointer on the way, no good. And DeBruin comes away with the board. Thomas now going to kick a three-pointer out. No good. DeBruin's right there for the offensive board. Second chance shot. Shot, basket, and the foul. Nelson hits it. That time Fond du Lac just allowing the Papermakers too many second chance opportunities. Nelson hits it. He's had a good second half of play. I tell you what, Kimberly Papermakers have done a good job on one guy for Fond du Lac in the second half. That's Chris Saberlich. Saberlich has been held scoreless so far in the second half for Fond du Lac. Bartelt with it. Let's see if we can get a play maybe to get Saberlich some points here. Saberlich with a hot first half, and Kimberly has keyed on him here in the second half. 5:29 remaining in this basketball game. 40-36 in favor of Fond du Lac. Saberlich thought about the three that time. Now to Bartelt. Bartelt's shot high off the rim, no good. Casey Weiss comes away with the board. Now Saberlich. Saberlich finally hits one. Saberlich puts it in. And a 43-36 basketball game now. DeBruin. Wide open shot from Hurley. Hurley puts it in for the Papermakers. Cardinals on top, 43-38. 4:45 remaining in the basketball game. Robbie Springborn brings it up slowly. Casey Weiss. Weiss takes it in. Nice move by Casey Weiss. And the foul, and Casey Weiss will go to the charity stripe. Casey now with 8 points in the basketball game. Going to try to make it 9 for Fond du Lac. Casey, only 1 of 5 from the charity stripe this season, has not been there too often. And the free throw is good. And Fond du Lac now with an 8-point lead. Starting to pull away a little bit again, but Kimberly has been known throughout this basketball game to come back. Ryder gives it off to Nelson. Now out on top to DeBruin. Reisterer being double teamed now. Wide open is DeBruin. Shot would not go, and Hurley comes away with the board. Turn around in the lane from Hurley, no good, and Bartelt comes away with it. Now Robbie Springborn looking to push it up for Fond du Lac. Straight up 4 minutes remaining in the basketball game. Cardinals trying to get another 10-point lead, this time down court. Casey Weiss now posting up Derek Arndt. Casey Weiss, jump shot on the way, no good, and Fond du Lac comes away with the board. That's Casey Weiss. Casey Weiss again. Fond du Lac back up by 10. Their biggest of the game has been 12, and Coach John Myron taking a timeout. It will be a full timeout. We will take a timeout as well. Cardinals up by 10, 48-38, 3:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Back after this, you're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.
When gearing up for high school sports, your first and only stop is Team Sports, Main Street, Fond du Lac. Shoes, balls, gear, it's all here at Team Sports on Main. Dribble, pass, shoot. It's basketball season, and Team Sports has all your basketball needs covered. One stop and you're in the game. Or maybe the struggle for the pin is more your speed. Team Sports also carries all you need for wrestling. Team Sports has trophies, letter jackets, and Packer and Badger merchandise. Team Sports, your sports headquarters.
And welcome back to the Cardinal Fieldhouse. Fond du Lac with a 48-38 lead. Just a reminder, if you're looking for upcoming action or just have a chance to get on the internet and wondering when these games are being replayed, check out our website, webpages.charter.net/NICKJODI. We have upcoming action on there, as well as the area's top 5. I'll tell you right now, Fond du Lac's ranked number 1 in that area, top 5. And
today it's still Tuesday's game.
it actually was changed. It was updated this afternoon, and also the top 5 was updated this afternoon. A jump ball will belong to the Kimberly Papermakers, the top 5, and a technical foul now called on Coach John Myron. He better watch out. He might get a second technical called on him. John Myron livid about that one, and he could get kicked out of this basketball game. John Myron is red hot, not happy at all, and Myron better watch out. He's going to get teed up again, and he's going to get thrown out of here. Saberlick now Myron has to sit down. You get called for a technical, and you got to sit down. Saberlick hits both. You know, yeah, that's a tough technical on Myron. You know, you don't want a player in a situation where basically you're still pretty much in this basketball game, a chance to come back, and John Myron now allowing Saberlick to put 2 free throws in, and the Cardinals now once again tied for their biggest lead of the game at 12 points. Myron just not happy at all about that call, and actually it's ironic because in the JV game just before this game, the JV coach for Kimberly also got teed up, not happy with the referee. So Kimberly not enjoying their stay here at the Cardinal Fieldhouse. That's that Dick Bennett fire that John Myron has in him. He played under Dick Bennett at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Now coaching the Kimberly Papermakers, Saberlick and Bartelt. Fond du Lac could put a dagger in them right now if they could come up with a big basket. Derek Arndt underneath. Pump fake by Arndt, shot blocked by Nelson, and now Kimberly comes away and looks to push it up. 2:40 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. And Casey Weiss steps in front of that pass. Saberlick Gives it back to Casey Weiss, a whistle and a foul. And now Casey Weiss will go to the free throw line. Getting kind of interesting now here in the fourth quarter. And Reisterer will get the foul. That'll be his fourth. Casey Weiss will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. First one on the way is good. Casey now with 12 points in the basketball game. And the second one is good. Fond du Lac having a lot of their role players stepping up in this game. Derek Arndt as well as Casey Weiss. Whistle and a foul. So they make a call underneath, and then a sarcastic cheer from the crowd of the Kimberly Papermakers. John Myron trying to light a fire underneath his team and maybe get some calls go his way. Hurley goes to the free throw line. First one on the way is no good. Derek Arndt was called for the foul for Fond du Lac. That's his fourth. And now into the game for Derek Arndt will be John Shavy. (52-38) in favor of the Fond du Lac Cardinals. 2:22 remaining in this basketball game. Shot on the way by Hurley. The free throw is good. Now Kimberly coming out with a full court press, trying to put some pressure on the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Saberling off to Shavy. And now Kimberly maybe starting to foul there as they get a foul on number 15. That is Jake Thomas. And John Shavy now will go to the free throw line. That'll be Jake Thomas's first personal. And John Shavy will go to the charity stripe for Fond du Lac. Shavy 10 of 15 for 66% there this year. First one on the way from Shavy is good, and Shavy puts his first points in the book tonight. Shavy's second one is up and good. And the Cardinals now with a 54-39 lead over Kimberly. Next up for the Fond du Lac Cardinals will be Tuesday night in Neenah against the Neenah Rockets. Cardinals actually going on the road for 3 games: Neenah, Appleton East, and Appleton North. 3-point basket by Mark Ryder. It'll be a tough stretch of games for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. If they can come away with 3 victories, they'll be in pretty good shape. And then they will return here to the Cardinal Fieldhouse on Tuesday night, February the 4th, against the Menasha Blue Jays. Whistle and a foul underneath as Saberlick takes it up. Taking a look at the Fox Valley Association right now, Cardinals on top, 7-1 along with Appleton West. Appleton East, that basketball game up there is going to be a tough game. Appleton East in 3rd place right now, 5-3, along with Oshkosh North, Neenah, and Oshkosh West. And then the lower tier of the conference, Kaukauna at 3-5, Kimberly 2-6 in conference, Menasha 1-7, and Appleton North 0-8. As the free throws are good from Saberlick. Wide open Hurley underneath, and Hurley lays it in. A whistle and a foul as Kimberly starts to make their fouls. Just a reminder, if you want to see some fun on this Saturday night when you see this game replayed after the game's over here in just a few minutes, head on over to the Fond du Lac High School, the auditorium. It's the Miss Fond du Lac pageant, and our very own Sean Kaiser will be the MC for the Miss Fond du Lac pageant. We got a chance to talk to him earlier this week, and I know he is looking forward to it. Told me that he had to come up with a couple of comedy lines, so it'll be interesting to see Sean on Saturday night. And he will be back in the saddle with me next Thursday night for St. Mary Springs and Mayville. Ryder with the basketball. Shot on the way is good. Ryder with now 5 points here in the fourth quarter, and Kimberly comes out with a full court press. Springborn weaves his way through. Now Saberlich. Saberlich, basket and the foul. Saberlich starting to heat it back up here in the fourth quarter. Saberlich quiet, no scoring for him in the third quarter, but has come out here in the fourth quarter and put a nice quarter together. Saberlich's free throw, no good, rims out. As we roll under 1 minute remaining in this basketball game. Ryan Nelson underneath, the turnaround jump shot will not go, but he is fouled, 53.3 seconds, and Nelson will go to the free throw line. So the Cardinals' upcoming tough road trip, tell you what, 2 out of those 3 games are going to be tough games for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Big game going on tonight in the area is St. Mary Springs and North Fond du Lac. St. Mary Springs, hope you guys had a chance to check that game out this last week. St. Mary Springs in a heartbreaker, losing to Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Boy, that was just a fun game on Tuesday night from the Hunter Gymnasium. WLA winning on a last-second shot in overtime.
We'll have North Fond du Lac on next Saturday night.
And we'll get a chance to see our first look at North Fond du Lac next Saturday night, the 25th of January. The Fond du Lac Cardinals, the North Fond du Lac Orioles taking on the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings. That'll be a good game. So that's our
replayed on Sunday.
That's our upcoming lineup. That game will be replayed on Sunday. So got St. Mary Springs and Mayville on Thursday night, and on Saturday night, the North Fond du Lac Orioles and the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings. And we'll be able to see if North Fond du Lac come away with a win tonight or if St. Mary Springs does. Boy, I tell you, that ECFC Rivers division is really tightening up. Going to be a good division down the stretch. Robbie Springborn's second one goes in, as well as this Fox Valley Association will be a good ending to the season. Basketball is only going to get better as we go into February and March. And the Cardinals roll into a victory here tonight. Rim would not have it as the Cardinals checking a couple of players. Matt Sikorsky, Kyle Shepard, Pat Rand, Ben Wasick, and Ross Schumacher now into the game for Fond du Lac. 32.6 seconds remaining in this basketball game. Sikorsky off to Schumacher, 23 seconds. Shot and basket for Kyle Shepard, a 2-point bucket for Kyle. Now 10 seconds. Baseline jump shot on the way, no good. Shepard comes away with the board. Randall now brings it up. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and Ross Schumacher loses. Randall shot does not go. But the Fond du Lac Cardinals come in here tonight. Not a beautiful game, but hey, they come away with a victory. Cardinals win 64-46. Pass with game. Wrap up right after this. You're watching Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball on Charter Sports.